Let's try this interesting problem from AMC 8, the American Math Competition 8. It's like a puzzle. There are 4 digits, A, B, C, D. All of them are different. These are different digits. And it's given that ABA, the number ABA, times the number CD gives you CDCD. Okay? So what we will do is we will use a strategy, problem solving strategy called backtracking to solve this problem. Maybe if you can pause the video and try it yourself, you'll be able to solve it as well. But the strategy of backtracking is so important, then you can also always come back to this video and watch it. Okay, so usually what we might have done is we could have started with D times A and then found that, okay, this must be D because this number is D, right? But there could always be a carry of 1. So there could be like many cases coming up. Instead of doing that, let's look at the last step of this multiplication. The last step of multiplication. So here, there is some number here, some number here, some number here, and maybe there is something here as well, because there could be some carryovers here, right? So, and then there is some number here, some number here, some number here, and you add these two up to get C. You add these two up to get C. So let's look at this final number. This is either C times A, which is C times A, the last number here is C times A, or if there was a carryover from the last step, then it could also be C times A plus 1. So whatever this number is, we want C times A plus that, or C times A plus 1 plus that to be C, right? So let me write that. We want C times A plus this white number to be equal to C, or if this was C times A plus 1, then we would want C times A plus 1 plus the white number to be equal to C. So these are all positive digits, right? And you can easily sort of check that this white number must be 0. Because we already have C here, C times A will only increase it. I mean, A could be 1, then it will keep it same, but it will never decrease it. So C times something will be at most C. If you add something to that and you want the answer to be C, then this something must be 0. So the number here, and the same logic goes in the other case. So this number, this white number must be 0. This is 0. Also, if you do this carefully, in this left hand side, A must be 1, because there is no carryover. After you do this addition, there is not like 1C or something. So A must be 1. And in this case, you will see that this is not even possible, because C times A plus 1 is always greater than C. And it couldn't be like c times a plus 1 is 10 or something, because then we would again have 1 here, which we don't have. So a must be 1. A must be 1. So this argument sort of gives you a direct value of a. So now you have something interesting. You have d times a is d. We don't know what is d times b, so we'll just write it there. And we again have d times a. So let's write it here. But maybe there is a carryover from d times b, so that is possible. So maybe there is a plus 1 here. We don't know. Maybe there is. Right? And if we go to the next line, we know the last digit is c. So this is c. And we have c times b here. So we have c times d, c times a is c, and c times b. And let's focus on this part of the problem. This part. Okay. So there could be a plus 1. But whatever you want these two to add up to d and have no carryover. Again, the same logic as before follows. First of all, we can't have the plus 1 because d times a is at least d, and if you add 1 to it, this total sum will be larger than d, which you don't want, and you are not allowed to take a carryover, then this c will change. So this plus 1 is not here, and this a is 1 that we know, so this is just d. And c times b, it must be 0, otherwise you can't have this d plus c times b equals to d. Again, remember, you are not allowed to take carryovers. So c times b is 0, so b must be 0. So we found a, which is 1, and we found b, which is 0. So we have a plus b equals to, a plus b is equals to 1 plus 0, which is 1. The most important part of this problem is that we started from the end, from the last step of the multiplication. This is something that I want you to remember. There are a host of problem solving techniques which can really simplify how you solve problems. So this is one such strategy. If you have any other such strategy in mind, you can put it in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.